A healthy relationship is a canyon where you shout and an echo comes back. A dying relationship is a soundproof room. The bird test is simply you checking to see if there is any air left in the room, or if you are screaming into the void. It usually happens on a Tuesday or a Thursday, a completely forgettable, mundane afternoon. You are sitting in the car, or maybe standing in the kitchen waiting for the coffee to brew, and you see something. It doesn't matter what it is. A cardinal landing on the fence, a strange cloud shaped like a ship, a dog walking down the street with a funny raincoat, and without thinking, purely on instinct, you speak. Look at that. You point. You offer this tiny, fragile piece of your world to the person standing next to you. You are not asking for a philosophical debate. You are not asking for money. You are asking for a microsecond of shared reality. And this is the moment that determines the next 10 years of your life. Because the person next to you doesn't look up. They keep scrolling, they keep driving, they keep staring at the sink. Maybe they let out a sigh, a heavy exhale that sounds like you just asked them to carry a boulder up a hill. Maybe they say, "I'm busy." Maybe they say nothing at all, and you feel it. That sharp, cold prick in the center of your chest. You pull your hand back. You look away. You feel foolish. You feel small. You tell yourself, it was just a bird. It doesn't matter. Why am I so sensitive? But you are not sensitive. And it wasn't just a bird. That was a test. And whether you realized it or not, they just failed it.
We call this the bird test. The internet treats it like a game, like a trend, but it is not a game. It is the single most accurate predictor of whether your relationship will survive or whether you will slowly, painfully starve to death while sleeping in the same bed. Let's be honest about what that moment actually feels like. It feels like you are a ghost haunting your own house. You walk into a room and the temperature doesn't change. You speak and the sound waves just die. They hit the floor. You start to question your own needs. This is the trap. This is the most dangerous part of the dynamic, because logic tells you he works hard. She's tired. It's just a cloud. It's just a dog. Who cares? You gaslight yourself into silence. You tell yourself that you are asking for too much. I have a roof over my head. You think. They don't hit me. They don't cheat. We pay the bills. Why do I feel so empty? But the body knows what the mind denies. The body knows that being ignored triggers the same center in the brain as physical pain. When you say, "Look at that," and they don't look, your brain registers it as a physical blow. So you enter the contradiction. You stay because on paper, everything is fine, but you cry in the shower because in reality, you are completely alone. You want to scream, "See me," but you don't. Instead, you stop pointing at the birds. You stop sharing the memes. You stop mentioning the funny thing the cashier said. You retreat. You begin the slow process of shutting down the parts of yourself that they refused to touch. And that is how a relationship dies. Not with a bang, not with a shout, but with the silence of 1,000 unshared moments.
Why does this shatter us? Why does a rejected comment about a bird have the power to dismantle a marriage? Psychology calls this a bid for connection. Every day you make bids. Hundreds of them. A bid isn't always "I love you." Usually it's boring. It's, "Did you see this headline?" It's, "Ugh, my back hurts." It's, "Look at that car." It's a sigh. It's a touch on the arm. Every single bid has a hidden subtext. You aren't talking about the headline. You aren't talking about the car. You are asking a coded question. Am I safe with you? Do I matter to you? Are we on the same team? If I reach out, will you be there? When your partner looks up and says, "Wow, that is a cool bird," the answer is yes. When they ignore you, the answer is no. Dr. John Gottman, the leading researcher on this, studied thousands of couples. He watched them for years. He found he could predict divorce with over 90% accuracy just by watching these tiny moments. The couples who stayed together, they turned toward each other's bids 86% of the time. 86%! That means almost every time one pointed at a bird, the other looked. The couples who divorced, they turned toward each other only 33% of the time. Think about that math, 33%. That means 2 out of every 3 times you reached out for connection, you were left hanging. 2 out of every 3 times you tried to share your inner world, the door was slammed in your face. This creates a psychological state called turning away. When you turn away, you aren't just being distracted. You are sending a micro message of rejection. You are telling the partner, your excitement is a burden to me. Your thoughts are interruptions. Your presence is noise. And here is the terrifying part regarding the subconscious. The human brain is wired to seek safety above all else. If you reach for a hand and it slaps you away, eventually you stop reaching. It's Pavlovian conditioning. If every time you try to connect, you are met with a sigh, an eye roll, or silence, your brain learns that connection equals pain. So to protect yourself, you stop asking. You stop the bids, and when the bids stop, the bridge collapses.
This doesn't happen overnight. It is a slow erosion. It is the death by 1,000 cuts. Imagine your relationship is a house. Every time you make a bid, look at that bird, you're opening a window to let fresh air in. When they look, the air flows. The house breathes. When they don't look, the window is nailed shut. Day by day, month by month, board by board, you nail the windows shut. You stop telling them about your dreams because the last time you did, they changed the subject. You stop asking them to watch a movie with you because you know they'll be on their phone the whole time and the glow of the screen hurts more than watching alone. You stop initiating touch because the rejection of a cold shoulder burns for hours. You are building a soundproof room. You are living in the echo. You scream, nothing comes back. So you learn to be quiet. And the tragedy is they probably think everything is fine because you aren't fighting. People think the opposite of love is hate. It isn't. The opposite of love is indifference. The silence becomes heavy. Have you felt it? That thick, suffocating air at the dinner table? The only sound is the scraping of forks. You have so much to say. You had a weird dream. You saw a funny sign. You're worried about your mom, but you look at them, chewing, looking down, and you swallowed the words with your food. You keep them inside. You start hoarding your inner life. You save your jokes for your coworkers. You save your deepest thoughts for the internet. You save your real self for everyone except the person sleeping 3 inches away from you. You become strangers with a shared mortgage. You become roommates with a history. And then one day you meet someone else. Or maybe you don't. Maybe you just wake up one morning, look at the back of their head, and realize you feel absolutely nothing. Not anger, not hurt, just nothing. The battery is dead. The echo is gone. You thought you were tough. You thought you could handle the little things. But it wasn't the little things. It was the accumulation of a million unanswered questions. Every time they didn't look at the bird, they were removing a brick from the foundation. And now you are standing in the rubble, wondering how a house that looked so strong could fall down so quietly. But there is something darker here, something you haven't admitted to yourself yet, because it's not just that they are ignoring you, it's why they are ignoring you. And it's what that silence says about how they view you as a human being. You see, when someone consistently fails the bird test, when they consistently treat your bids for connection as annoyances, they aren't just distracted. They are revealing a fundamental truth about the power dynamic in your relationship. You are waiting for crumbs, and they are holding the loaf of bread, wondering why you look so hungry. We need to talk about why you stay in the soundproofed room. Because if we are being honest, brutally honest. You know they aren't listening. You know the echo is dead. You have known it for a long time. You stopped pointing at the birds months ago. You stopped sharing the song. You stopped trying to explain why you were sad on Tuesday. But you are still there. Why? Because you have convinced yourself that if you just find the right thing to say, if you just find the most interesting bird, if you just become funnier, or prettier, or quieter, or more successful, then they will finally turn their head. Then they will finally look. You think their silence is a critique of your performance. You think, if I were more interesting, they wouldn't be bored. And this is the lie that is destroying you. Here is the hard truth, the climax of this entire dynamic. They aren't ignoring the bird because the bird is boring. They are ignoring the bird because they do not respect the person pointing at it. That hurts. I know. Take a breath. Let it land. John Gottman didn't just find that people ignored bids because they were busy. He found that chronic turning away is almost always a symptom of contempt. Contempt is the sulfuric acid of love. It is the subtle, subconscious belief that your partner's inner world is not worth visiting. It is the belief that your joy is trivial, that your excitement is childish, that your need for connection is a weakness. When you say, "Look at that," and they sigh, they aren't just tired. They're signaling superiority. They're saying, "I am too important for this moment, and you are too small for my attention." And you are accepting this hierarchy. Every time you beg for their attention, you validate their superiority. Every time you dance for crumbs, you tell them that you are lucky to eat off the floor. You have become the beggar in your own kingdom. You are starving for an echo from a wall that was never built to reflect you back. So, what do? Do you break up? Maybe. Do you scream? No. The only way to break the cycle of the bird test is to stop taking the test. You need to stop auditioning for the role of partner in a movie they aren't even watching. The shift happens the moment you realize that joy does not require a witness to be real. For years, you have believed that the bird isn't beautiful unless they see it too. You have believed that your funny thought isn't valuable unless they laugh at it. You have outsourced your reality to them. You have given them the power to validate your existence. Take it back. The next time you see a cardinal on the fence, the next time you see the moon looking huge and yellow, the next time you hear a song that makes your chest ache, do not point. Do not call their name. Do not look at them to see if they're looking. Just look at the bird. Let the beauty fill you up. Feel the awe. Feel the joy. Feel the connection to the world, and keep it for yourself. This is not petty. This is not giving them the silent treatment. This is you relearning how to eat. This is you realizing that your inner world is rich and vibrant and colorful, whether they choose to visit it or not. When you stop begging for the echo, something strange happens. The desperation leaves your eyes. You stop hovering. You stop radiating that "please look at me" energy that actually repels people. You become solid again. You become a person who enjoys their own life. And one of two things will happen. Scenario A, they will notice you have pulled back. They will feel the space, and they will turn toward you. They will say, "Hey, what are you looking at?" And the dynamic will shift. Curiosity will return. The window will crack open. Scenario B, they won't notice at all. You will stop pointing at the birds, and they will enjoy the silence. They will be relieved that you stopped bothering them. And if that happens, if you stop sharing your world and they don't even blink, then you have your final answer. The test is over, and you didn't fail it. You outgrew it. You are not a ghost. You are a living, breathing, feeling human being who deserves to be witnessed. You deserve a partnership where "look at that" is met with wow, not "what now?" We spend our lives looking for the big signs: cheating, lying,
screaming matches. But love doesn't usually die in a fire. It freezes to death. It dies in the car ride where nobody speaks. It dies in the moment you see something beautiful and your first instinct is to keep it to yourself because you know they won't care. So pay attention to the birds. Pay attention to who looks up with you, because the person who loves you isn't the one who tolerates your pointing finger. The person who loves you is the one who is already watching the sky, waiting for you to see what they see.